Welcome, get ready to hear something incredible. Did you know that unleashing the MPE features of Serum 2 can unlock really dynamic and expressive sounds you never thought possible? Just take a listen. Okay, if you're new to the term MPE, it stands for MIDI Polyphonic Expression, and it basically gives you a multi-dimensional control over your sounds. And with me today I have the Osmos synth from Expressive, and as you can see here, if we lean into the keys softly, we can open up the filter, we can apply some effects, and also individually pitch bend the keys. So we get a lot of expressive control instantly from our performance, rather than wiggling the mod wheel or fiddling with the expressive pedals. And I did a whole video covering all the aspects of this keyboard, so if you want to learn more about the Osmos synth, you can click the card up here or you'll have a link in the description. Right, so next up, how can we activate and work with the MPE features in a synth like Serum 2? So first you're gonna activate the MPE features of your DAW or music application, and it works a little bit different depending on what kind of app you're working with. But if you're working in Bitwig Studio, you're gonna press your track and activate the instrument device. And looking at the inspector panel, you have this Use MPE feature, so you just activate that button, and now the Serum 2 synth receives MPE MIDI data from your MIDI controller. This first preset in the Serum 2 synth is called Ambient 1 MPE, and it's one of the presets in my upcoming Serum 2 preset pack called Atlantia. And everyone supporting my channel via the Patreon is going to receive this pack for free, but you can also purchase this from my store at the store.morningdewmedia.com. And as I mentioned, Serum 2 is now receiving the full MIDI polyphonic expression from the Osmos synth. And if you want to access the different settings for MPE, you go into the global settings of Serum 2, and we scroll down on this first page, and there you can see MPE. And by default, this should be enabled. And then you can see MPE pitch bend, also maps to expression X, and the MPE expression Y acts as bidirectional. Generally, by default, it should be activated. Then head over to the Matrix tab, which is where all the magic happens to this sound, where we get all the modulators set up. So we have the source on this left side, and there we can see the MPE expressive Z axis, which is the pressure on the keys. And we have the pressure attached to a filter 1 level. Then we have a Y parameter for timbre, which is attached to also filter 1 level. And the pressure is how we lean into the keys. Then expression Y, timbre, is the polyphonic aftertouch, and that happens after the initial pressure distance. So that's the extra depth that we get with the MPE controller. Below that we can also see expressive Z, pressure, is attached to filter 1 frequency. So we basically have control over the level of the sound, which is in this case the level of the filter, this knob. And we also control the cutoff of the filter. So you can see as I press the keys, we open up the filter, and you can also see a smaller white dot here on the level, which controls the level of the output of the filter. So that's basically how simple it is to set up MPE in the Serum 2 synth to control different parameters. Just go into the sources and select the MPE folder, the MPE category, and select any of these options depending on what you want to control with the MPE data. And as I mentioned, the pressure is the first initial depth of the key, and then the timbre is going to be that last 25% of pressing down the keys, which is also called polyphonic aftertouch. But bear in mind, if you have the Osmos set to MPE mode, the polyphonic aftertouch will not be the parameter to use for the pressure. You're gonna need to set it to Expressive Y timbre to access that polyphonic aftertouch. Okay, let's look at another exciting preset from my upcoming Atlantia Serum 2 preset pack. So head over to the preset browser, MPE, and go to the pad Nostalgia MPE. So this is a really cool patch where we have the depth of the keys attached to control the rate of the LFO. Looking at the matrix page, we can see the Expressive Z pressure is attached to multiple parameters, and first we have it attached to LFO rate. So you can see the LFO spinning faster as we press harder on the keys. And we also have it attached to increase the volume of oscillator B, so we introduce this second oscillator, this alien spectral oscillator. Yeah, so as you can see, we can really breathe life into our sounds using an expressive controller like the Osmos synth. And if you're a regular here on my channel, you've probably seen me use this Osmos synth as my main keyboard for the past 2 years. And that's just because I just love the feel of this keypad compared to my other keyboards. And it's going to be great if you're working with like cinematic scoring, film scoring, or if you're creating ambient music. And speaking of that, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you really want to support my channel, you can become a Patreon. And as I mentioned, if you become a Patreon, you also receive this new Serum 2 preset pack for free. And you also get behind the scenes footage, early access to some videos and some other stuff like new music and stuff. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any type of questions or if you have any suggestions on upcoming videos. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!